Thank you for joining the stream. Today is December 18th, 2021, and this is also a mic check. Thank you for joining the stream. Today is December 18th, 2021.
Yeah, you're on ignore, sir. Jared, do you understand? Either you accept the self-disclosure of the Christian God or you reject it. So which is it?
He doesn't know. He's a relativist.
Self-disclosure. I need you to be specific. Like, what do you mean by the self-disclosure?
Yeah. God, the Christian God, has revealed himself in natural revelation and through special revelation. You either accept it or you deny it.
Why have I not seen that? I have not seen that.
Okay. Are you familiar with the Bible?
I have not read it in its entirety, but I know like a couple verses.
Okay. Do you accept the Bible as the infallible, inerrant self-disclosure of the Christian God? Do you accept that?
One more time with the question, please.
Do you accept the Bible as the infallible, inspired self-disclosure of the true God? Do you accept it?
Okay, can you say it in words that aren't so big? So
Do
that
you accept
understand?
the Bible as the self-disclosure of the one true God?
It's so big.
The Bible,
Self-disclosure.
you
accept
the Bible as true.
Yeah. I do not accept it as true. No.
Okay. So then when you are going to be conversing with me here on, and you're going to make propositions or predications, in order for them to be intelligible, since they won't be in virtue of the God of the Bible as the basis for their intelligibility, what foundational principle or absolute of existence are you going to have as a basis for intelligibility?
I'm not going to have any because I don't know.
Well, then why are you speaking?
Oh,
why should I even? If you don't know what the basis is for anything, why do you bother making any declarations then?
Because the burden of proof exists.
Okay, so okay, do you? So you say the burden of proof exists. Is that fact rooted in the ground of all being, that which is ultimate? Is it meaningful? Is the burden of proof a meaningful concept and stipulation in virtue of that which is ultimate?
To me, it is. To me,
no, I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you to you. I said, is the statement the burden of proof? Is it intelligible with respect to the ultimate nature of reality?
Yikes! How else are you going to detect it?
Wait. No, I think I see the problem here.
Do you have an answer?
Wait. I think I see the problem.
Yeah, I'm waiting for an answer to Jared. If anyone talks in between the time he talks, then you're heckling. So you don't have an answer. Thank you. You can be quiet now. I'll move on to somebody else. Because what I've just demonstrated to you is when you reject the self-disclosure of the Christian God, you will have no basis to assert things.
What if you're Vishnu then?
It's asserted it.
Wait.
No,
so I think
that's the case. You haven't actually argued that's the case.
But no, see, I think here's the problem. I think Darth has the locus of reality built on top of the Christian God. That's the objective absolute basis. And if you're a relativist, the locus of reality is built upon yourself. It's your.
Oh my
God.
No, that was very badly put. That would not be the locus of reality, because the moon does not exist in virtue because of you or me or whoever is under consideration. The locus of reality is going to have to be whatever is ultimate and absolute. No. You really do not understand the issue, Tails.
Well, no, but see, here's the thing, though. I accept on faith that there's this concept of objective reality of things that exist, whether I'm conscious or not.
Why don't you be just a little bit more transparent and say, I accept this arbitrarily. I accept that arbitrarily.
Yeah, that's what I understand faith to mean, like without good evidence.
Using the word arbitrarily is
No,
quite
but you see,
false
but you
because
don't
it's
understand.
based on observation, pattern recognition, and testing over long time of the. You're disrupting. You know
okay,
that, right?
When you talk about good evidence, there's no basis for evidence in your model of reality, Tails. You see, what you've done is, listen, Tails, in all due respect to you, you're a nice guy. I don't think you're stupid, but you've contradicted yourself several times. When you acknowledge that there's no basis for anything, then when you make an appeal to evidence, evidence won't be based upon anything ultimately. Okay?
I have a basis for reality to refute his, but he local muted me against the rules and everything. But he did.
I mean, he's a moron.
No, it's not against the rules.
It's just an ultimate fucking moron that says
everybody
that
is
I
ganging up on
have the
Darth, but
absolute
literally
truth.
getting beat.
I have no evidence of the absolute truth, but I have.
This is what they're left with trolling and nickling. It's embarrassing. It happens all the time.
Asking Darth what it would actually mean. Guys, have you actually thought about asking Darth what it would mean for something to be, quote, the grounds of reality?
Yeah, we've done that. Yeah, we've done that several times.
What are you talking?
No, he basically says that you can't have any intelligible anything without a ground for reality. So basically, anything that has any logic or rationality requires that acceptance. Like it's almost like everything you do there's no way out of it, basically, which is.
Well, this is very interesting. This is very interesting because he doesn't have grounds for anything outside the Bible. He doesn't have anything outside the Bible in his idea.
Virtue of an ultimate
Nothing
basis or
outside the Bible is true or real
Bro,
to him.
why are you
Nothing
so
outside
angry,
the Bible.
bro?
No,
Dude, why are you
he
so
talks
angry?
about there being a natural revelation or something.
No, yeah, but okay, so then God speaks to him. Can we ask him that? Does God speak to him and tell him what reality is then? Because he has no basis except the Bible, because he said, well, you have to accept the Bible to, have somewhere to come from. And the Bible doesn't mention everything in the world, so how does he know that anything outside of the Bible is true? I'm curious about that.
Tail, you might as well, listen, Tail, you might as well simply dismiss everything you hear coming out of Lem, because Lem says he doesn't know anything is true.
I I say that too.
Okay.
Like I know things are true.
Well, then, if you don't know that anything is true, then all that's coming out of your mouth is sound and fury, signifying nothing. It's just a gobbledygook of arbitrariness.
Okay, so
I feel like there's a dichotomy there that I don't necessarily have to accept, or I'm not accepting. So what's the dichotomy that you're referring to, Tails?
Well, you wouldn't be the only one not accepting things, Tails. Like Darth Dawkins here, when I tried to bring up my source for my grounding of reality, he was like, well, I'm going to have to mute you. I'm going to have to stop listening. You're ignored. It's like, come on, Darth Dawkins, play on a fucking level playing field, you pussy.
Hyper, unbeknownst to you, I turned you up a while ago. I was ignoring you because you're being obnoxious. Now, if you want to act like a grown-up, I'll be glad to have a conversation.
I don't think Shub Niggurath would appreciate being called obnoxious.
Yeah, Darth, you're not acting like a grown-up. You're being condescending. You're disruptive.
Yes or no?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, good. So, so what do you want to what do you want to start with, Hyper?
First of all, your Bible and your God are lesser than the elder gods who rule over the multi-cosmos. Period. You can't get away. You can't get away from it.
Okay, listen, dude. Have you been diagnosed with ADD?
No, have you?
Okay, good. No, I haven't. So you need to focus. You need to focus on the question that I ask you, not on a question that you imagine that I say. Now, we'll go back
to me about my sense perception.
Shut your mouth and stop over talking me. Because when I get somebody like you, shut your mouth, or the conversation will be over. Okay? Because I don't put up with cocky young males very long, especially when you're a deer in the headlights such as yourself. Now, you don't have the foggiest idea of what you're talking about, and the reason why I'm getting irritated is not because you're disagreeing, it's because you do not realize how clueless you are. Now, I ask you, what is the causal origin of everything that begins? Do you have an answer to that?
No, I believe that's where science would stop, I guess. What is your answer for that?
Do you have an answer to that question?
I just answered you. Are you deep?
Okay. Was the answer you don't know?
Yeah, I guess everyone else.
Okay, now everyone heard that. Okay, so you don't know what the causal origin of everything is. Now,
yeah, you're
if
claiming
you don't
that you
know,
do.
don't over fucking talking me. Shut your damn mouth and stop over talking me, moron. Now, I'm a very patient person, but my patience reaches limits when I'm dealing with a moron deer in the headlights, and I'm going to call you out for it because that's what you are. Now, here's the next question, smartass. Since you don't know what the causal origin of everything that begins is, how did you rule God out as the causal origin? Do you have a logical defeater?
I am asking you what is... I said that I don't.
I'll repeat the question again when you don't answer it. I will repeat the question again when you don't answer it. Now, since you have stated you do not know.
You know, I think Gestapo Gary is very, very pertinent. Listen to this guy. I think Hitler would cower were he to meet Gestapo Gary.
Oh, okay, fuck off. Get out of here. Okay? You can just fuck off.
Yeah, fucking funny, man.
Yeah, you're a moron, and I will tell you to your face. You can fuck off, and then we're done. We're done.
Like, why did you get triggered so much? Like, I mean, everybody was seeing where this was going.
Oh, no, I'm not triggered. No, I'm not triggered. I'm just not going to put up with an obnoxious...
I'm not triggered. Oh, no.
Obnoxious, rude, over-talking moron who's a deer in the headlights.
But you're not answering my question. Like, why am I obliged to answer
hold on one second.
Yeah, go right in, Bammy. Use that new skill you got. Thanks to Isaac.
Darth Dawkins is an absolute jerk.
I mean...
Peaceful. I'm waiting for it.
I heard you answer the questions, man.
These guys seem to be playing him like a cat playing a mouse. So I hope Darth Dawkins gets publicly humiliated by these kids.
I see where it was going now.
Okay, now we have the moron deer in the headlights is gone. Okay. And you see, this is precisely what somebody does when you start asking them questions about their assertion that they realize that they're screwed. They start to become obnoxious and argumentative. It's called Plan B.
He just called somebody a moron, which is obnoxious behavior. Himself is Darth Dawkins, Gary, Gestapo Gary. You are behaving just as obnoxiously as you are accusing everybody you come up against as behaving. You don't have a clue where you stand on pretty much anything.
That's an interesting framing, but I think you were being kind of abusive towards him.
I don't care. I wasn't being abusive. Yes, I was getting angry because he was being rude and obnoxious and over-talking.
I mean, yeah, you were angry, but you were also being kind of abusive towards him.
Yeah, I was being insulting.
Darth Dawkins is accusing the other guy of being rude and obnoxious when Darth Dawkins called this other guy a moron, which is rude and obnoxious behavior. God, he's such a child in a old man's creaking body.
Of him because he was being obnoxious. What goes around comes around. I'm well known on Discord. I don't take crap from people, and there are times that I lose my temper when I shouldn't, and there are certain choice words that I say that I shouldn't, but it happens. But you see, the reason why he was doing that was because he had no out. He realized that I had him cornered. He was screwed. He had no way to escape, and he knew it.
Well, sure.
He knew. Hold on a second. He knew that I was asking laser sharp questions. That these are questions that are carefully prepared.
Laser sharp, carefully prepared. Listen to this guy. He's a clown. He's an absolute clown.
Okay? And he realized that it was leading to the point where he had no escape. That's why he was pulling that crap. And you see, I debate every week with hundreds of people. I've debated with hundreds, if not.
How many times have you heard this? How many times have you heard this guy bragging about how much he's debated with people? And the result is always
thousands of people. And it's very obvious when people go to plan B. It's called start an argument, be obnoxious, start over talking, segue onto a semi-related rabbit trail, don't answer questions in order to stall the conversation and the questioning and to produce a stalemate. That's exactly what he was doing. This is a common tactic. Now, is there anyone else here who would like to defend the position that he was defending, that there is no evidence for God?
Okay, I'll take a stab at it, but of course I can't because this is a recording. However, I will make a prediction that whoever does step up to the plate, take a stab, will be treated to the same humiliating conduct that Gestapo Gary meets out to just about anybody who he opposes. Let's see if I'm right or dead wrong.
Anyone?
Yes, I will if nobody else does.
Not really, but...
Hold on a second. How many people do we have here in the room?
Now he's going to brag that everybody's scared of him or something.
Can I ask a question?
Sure, you can in a second, but how many people do we have in the room?
You can type the...
Do we have any atheists in the room?
No, they're trembling before you, Darth Dawkins.
Wow, because usually we have a lot of atheists on this server.
I believe we all are atheists here, Darth.
Well, if you're all atheists, then you would have to conclude that there's no evidence for God. Why is everybody quiet?
Wait, can I just ask a short question? Do you think that...
What did he just say? If you're all atheists, then you'd all have to conclude that there's no evidence for God. Why are you so quiet? Maybe I misheard that. Hold
on a second. How many people do we have here in the room?
Can I ask a question?
Sure, you can in a second, but how many people do we have in the room?
You can type the...
Do we have any atheists in the room?
Yes,
wow, because usually we have a lot of atheists on this server.
I believe we all are atheists here, Darth.
Well, if you're all atheists, then you would have to conclude that there's no evidence for God. Why is everybody quiet?
That's okay. We would have to conclude that there's no evidence for God. Yes, we would. We have actually concluded that there's no evidence for God. So I think you just fucked up. I think you just don't have a clue what you're talking about, and somebody should have jumped on that right then and there.
Wait, can I just ask a short question? Do you think that...
I asked a sincere question. If you're all atheists... Now, I want Tonlock and Brojo to take notice here. We have somebody here who stated that they're all atheists here, except for maybe me and maybe a couple others. If you're all atheists, then the atheist slogan is there is no evidence for God. So are there any atheists here who believe there is evidence for God?
Don't be ridiculous.
No, that wouldn't be possible, right?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So is there any... Watch this, Tonlock and Brojo. Are there any atheists in the room?
Watch the master. Hey, Tonlock. Hey, Brojo. This is how it's done.
Who hold to the position there is no evidence for God.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Somebody took the bait.
Oh, good. Who is that?
David.
Okay, David, since you hold to the position that there's no evidence for God, you can take off where the other dipwad left off before he was summarily executed. Now, what is the causal?
Dipwad was summarily executed. You know who this guy sounds like? He fucking sounds like your friend. I mean, sorry, my friend, our friend in North Korea, Chik Chong Chu. What's his name? Kim Jong something. He's one of the Kim Jongs. He's the Kim Jong-un, I think. Kim Jong-un. This guy, this is Darth Dawkins reminded me exactly of this guy. I love to listen to these. I wish I wouldn't rewind it so far, but I like to hear what he says. The way he comes across so fucking condescendingly.
Begins since you have ruled out God.
I don't know.
If you don't know what the causal origin is of everything that begins.
Hold on. Did I go too far forward? I think so. Sorry about that.
Are there any atheists in the room who hold to the position there is no evidence for God?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Who is that?
David.
Okay, David, since you hold to the position that there's no evidence for God, you can take off where the other dipwad left off before he was summarily executed.
There we go. What kind of an asshole introduction is that? You know, he's supposed to be kind and respectful to everybody, number one. Number two, a new guest comes in. He should just, respectfully welcome the guest and then get into it. But no, he's got to have that extra stab in the back moment for somebody who's left who can't even answer himself. This guy is so full of himself. Fucking so full of himself. David S., how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining, and thank you for chatting. I'd say there's lots of shitty evidence for God, but no good evidence to support a God. Yeah, exactly. And the only shitty evidence is people's personal evidence, which is shitty evidence. Yeah, you're right. But that's only shitty evidence for a personal God until that person dies, and then that person's dead, and no one's running around saying that particular person's God is their God. It's a circus. But anyway, this guy, Darth Dawkins, is a circus. He's a clown in the circus, which kind of like.
Now, what is the causal origin of everything that begins since you have ruled out God?
I don't know.
If you don't know what the causal origin is of everything that begins, how did you rule out God as having no causal relations?
Because God cannot exist.
I just said I don't know.
You're another deer in the headlights, because you affirm that there's no evidence for God. The proposition there is no evidence for God is a stipulation that there are no causal relations between God and other entities that begin to exist. So you have ruled God out.
There is no empirical evidence.
Yeah, you're not understanding. Listen,
you're not understanding.
You're not understanding either. You're another deer in the headlights. When you say, it doesn't matter that you say empirical. Okay, evidence has to do with causal relations and connections between two states of affairs or two entities. So when you say there's no evidence for God, that is the same thing as saying is that God does not stand in causal relations as the causal origin with anything that begins. So if you don't know, David, what the causal origin of everything that begins is, how did you rule out God as the causal origin?
Because God doesn't exist.
I did not.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, you see, we're going to move on because you are stupid. Because I just went through this twice with
you. Such a piece of shit, this guy. You are stupid. So, before we listen to this voice of doom any longer, let me say hello again to David S. and Mr. Lumpkin. Welcome. Welcome, friends. I salute you for joining. You're the only three people in the whole universe on this YouTube channel. Just think of how unique that is. The chances of this being duplicated anywhere in the universe is 0. Okay, just kidding. Sydney, shut up and get on with Darth Dawkins. All right.
I explained it to you.
Right.
How many times do I need to go through this?
Darth, would you then say that
I look cold? Yeah, it's, let's see. I speak Celsius, it's 5 degrees. And I have the window open and the fan on blowing out because I don't like it when it gets stuffy. And I'd rather dress up if it's cold and dress down if it's too warm. Complicated, okay? Okay? Right, let's carry on.
Agnostic position reduces down to atheist?
You're going to have to repeat because I had trouble understanding it.
So would you say that a person who claims to be agnostic is actually in fact an atheist?
Yeah, people who are agnostics are in fact atheists. They're just not aware of it.
Would you say the same thing about somebody who claims to be a Muslim?
Would I say the same thing about a Muslim?
Yeah, they also in fact atheists.
No. Muslims are not atheists. Muslims believe in a creator God. So how could you be an atheist when atheism is the denial or lack of belief in a creator God when Muslims believe in a creator God?
Yeah, okay.
Can I ask you a question?
Then we're on the same page.
When I say your God might exist, does that solve it?
Well, first of all, when you say God might exist, that's to me that's just a silly thing for you to say because God's existence is not contingent. It's not like saying I'm flipping a coin inside of a shoebox, and it might be heads, it might be tails. God's existence is not probabilistic. So you're either going to have to assert God exists or God does not exist. There cannot be a position of neutrality.
Wait, but that is also true about gold on Mars. That's not probabilistic either. Either there is gold on Mars.
No, you're quite mistaken, sir. Because you see, is gold unconditionally non-dependent?
Unconditionally non-dependent. No.
Does that mean anything?
Okay, is Mars unconditionally non-dependent?
No.
Okay, then Mars and gold on Mars are both contingencies.
Right. I was talking about.
Right. So you see, when we're talking about God, we're in a completely different category. We're talking about that which is absolute, that which is unconditionally non-dependent. Mars and gold on Mars are not unconditionally non-dependent, sir.
Sir.
Oh my God. Okay.
I don't understand what that has to do with the probabilistic.
Because contingencies would be the result of either an agency producing it, or that it's the result of non-variables along with variables.
Okay.
And those variables themselves would be contingent. Excuse me. The non-variables would be dependent upon that which is unconditionally non-dependent. So the bottom line is there's no escaping this.
Dependent upon the non-dependent? Did he just say that? Conditionally dependent on the non-dependent. Tell me I'm losing my mind because I'm losing my grasp. I'm losing my grasp on the English language or something. But when I listen to Gestapo Gary talk English, I kind of feel I'm getting de-educated. Like you know, his speech is sort of pulling brain cells out of my head. So Gary, stop pulling fucking brain cells out of my head, okay? Philosophy speak gobbledygook. That's a Gestapo-Garianism.
You're either a theist or you're an anti-theist. There's
okay. Is that a true dichotomy? You're either a theist or you're an hey Patty of Furniture, welcome. You're either a theist or you're an anti-theist. Is that what he just said?
no middle ground here.
Oh, there's no middle ground. You're either a theist or an anti-theist. Okay. All right. I'm an anti-theist. And now what?
People fool themselves because they're not philosophically adept at understanding that you cannot be neutral about the existence of God. You can be neutral about gold on Mars because your capacity to live, to move, and to breathe and to have cognition doesn't depend upon gold on Mars. But your ability to reason and think will ultimately be in virtue of that which is absolute or unconditionally non-dependent. And since God fits within the category of that which is unconditionally non-dependent, the absolute, you cannot be neutral about it. So your cognition, when you say, I lack belief in God, that's an emanation of your cognition.
Well, when you say I lack non-belief in God, that's also a cognition. So I don't see what the difference is. I just think reality, if you look to reality for your control, every single time that you look at reality for the control, you will get a result that would be predictable through an atheist perspective. In other words, a natural, logical progression. With the Christian view that, you know, they believe that, you know, they're not sure that the sun will rise tomorrow, and they think that God can stop and rearrange the stars. They can stop the universe from spinning. I mean, all this absolute gobbledyshite, or philosophy speak gobbledygook. This is what Gestapo Gary has a PhD in philosophy speak gobbledygook. Thanks, Mr. Lumpkin, for that. Like it. Love it. So rather than listen to my voice, let's listen to the dulcet tones of Gestapo Gary.
That cognition will either be in virtue of that which is absolute and personal, God, or it'll be in virtue of what you consider to be something absolute that is impersonal.
So what? Okay. He makes the argument for himself and against himself in the same sentence. You conclude that reality is you conclude that in your reality there's an impersonal, you know, there's no personal relationship with God. It's impersonal, whatever the hell that really means. Okay. Yes. So why doesn't he stop right there? But let's continue.
Right.
You may not be consciously aware of that, right? But
yeah.
Right?
So the argument is that I don't need to be consciously aware of the fact that I'm either an atheist or a theist.
You know, this guy sounds like Armin Navabi from Atheist Republic. I mean, it might not be him, but it certainly sounds like him.
In fact, that anyway.
So agnostics are just simply unaware that they're atheists.
Right. Yeah, I can buy that explanation.
I don't think it's him.
I'm not sure. I'm understanding this.
Really hard. But that makes it like really hard. It makes it hard for me to defend my position. That's
No, it's not.
Because
well, outside the Christian worldview, no position can be defended whatsoever.
Right, but
I'm not
it
sure.
makes it.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Outside of the Christian worldview, no position can be defended whatsoever. This guy is a bozo the clown. And his big trick, Bozo the Clown's big trick, Gestapo Gary's the Clown's big trick is to juggle word salad. Oh, word salad, lettuce, carrots, broccoli.
But it makes it sound like I need to, at any point in life, be able to defend my position that I'm agnostic towards God, right? I feel like if you would ask me that question, then I would probably ask for time to go and research it. But
no, you're not. No. People, listen. People who think and verbalize that they're agnostic toward God are just simply naive and they're uninformed. They're not aware that they are reasoning. I'd like to finish what I'm saying. I'll be more than happy to respond to you, sir.
Okay, I have to be really selfish here. I really want to be in a position to react to what is said, but I need to put a refill into this cup, and I'm going to do that. I won't be very long. I won't leave you lacking. Have some music. All right. Thank you, Maestro. I told you I wouldn't be long. All right, let's just carry on, shall we? Because we should carry on. I didn't want to miss anything. Yeah.
The agnostic is simply not aware that they're starting from an atheistic framework. Okay? Sure. They're not aware of it.
I agree. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I fundamentally disagree, Mr.
I would disagree as well.
See, we both act as if God exists as an agnostic and of course, in your case as a Christian. Now, there's only one minor split, all right, is that I don't go to say it as you do. All right, it's a minor infraction. It's one I hope you could appreciate. Okay.
Hold on a second. Are you an atheist or a theist?
See, he interrupts the guy or the person to start with these probing questions. He doesn't let anybody else stop and ask probing questions, but he is so somehow self-entitled that he, there's a set of rules for me and there's a set of rules for thee. That's how he works, this gregariously Gestapo Gary.
Well, I don't want to be boxed in one way or another.
Right,
yeah. Hey, listen. Doing a bad impersonation of Jordan Peterson isn't going to win points with me. It's just going to piss me off when you do a bad impersonation.
What does that mean?
Dude. Listen. Okay, dude. We're done.
We're done.
You can stop with the shtick, sir. No.
As soon as he gets cornered, as soon as he loses, as soon as he's in trouble, he goes and has a little fucking tantrum and a hissy fit. Takes his ball and goes home.
Well, hold on. The question is asked in such a way that, I could be firmly placed on a binary argument.
Yes. Whatever that means, huh?
Mr. Dawkins.
Where's Mr. Dawkins?
Nice.
Oh.
Did
I scare him off?
Next.
Oh, he doesn't want to talk to that guy.
Okay.
The person.
Could you re-articulate this idea that you cannot be agnostic? Because I'm not understanding the connection here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Gary is being questioned, like follow-up. So some kind of a, give me an idea of what exactly you're saying, because Gary's always ambiguous or just incoherent. So somebody's actually stepping up to the plate here, and let's see what happens.
Well, I was asking you if you.
Sorry. I just think this guy. I think Gary's going to land up insulting, abusing this person.
You could explain it to me again.
What do you want to explain?
So, all right. So, for instance, if I were to say that I'm agnostic on whether God exists, you would say that this position is fundamentally.
That's an incoherency.
Yeah.
That's like saying you have a solid goal square triangle.
Right. So why is it incoherent?
Why? It's because when you speak and you offer propositions and you give forth reasoning, your reason will either have its origin and dependency upon God or not God, whether you're conscious of that or not.
That makes absolutely no sense. Besides, the dichotomy isn't God or not God. The dichotomy is God or no God. Okay, that's another way he tries to deceive his audience. He uses a false dichotomy. So, for you young kids out there, remember when you watch Darth Dawkins or Gestapo Gary and he says God or not God, be very careful. He's being deceitful, young children. He is using a false dichotomy. Now, if he was to use a true dichotomy, he would say God or no God. But we take into account that Gestapo Gary is a Christian. He's a Christian male. And he will stop at nothing to promote his barbaric, callous, inhumane Christian dogma. It's embarrassing to be a human being when other human beings behave this way, but what can we do?
So if you do not affirm that God is the unconditionally non-dependent personal absolute from whence your cognition comes, if you do not affirm that, then your cognition will come from an impersonal absolute.
Bullshit.
Because there's no middle ground there. Bullshit. You see, there are some things that you cannot be neutral about.
No,
there are many things that you can be neutral about. For example, you can be neutral about gold on Mars because you see your cognition, your thinking, your breathing, your movement.
Have I heard this like 3 times already? The same about gold on Mars, or am I like having deja vu moments or something?
Doesn't depend upon gold on Mars, but your cognition that you reveal when you make predications and propositions is going to be derivative of that which is unconditionally non-dependent and absolute. And that absolute, whatever it is, will either be personal or not personal.
That's crap. That absolute, whatever it is, will either be personal or non-personal. You see how he clouds the waters, he muddies the waters. You know, he says when you get to target A, it's going to be a choice. It's either going to be X or Y. You can choose X or Y when you get to A. Now he's presupposing that A actually exists, and we get caught up in the, oh well, we've got a choice. Then we forget to question or to mention that, by the way, A does not exist. So the attributes of X and Y, whatever, are nonsense. That's how he tries to bamboozle his low-hanging fruit audience. But these guys seem to have his number.
Now, if you say, I lack belief, I withhold belief that the absolute that exists is personal, then that statement is derivative of an impersonal absolute. Now, if you want to say, oh no, oh but contraire, I'm actually staking a middle ground, I don't know which one it is, then your statements, your propositions become completely vacuous because the propositions would have no ultimate foundation. In order for a predication...
Again, he's making a presupposition that there's some kind of a ultimate foundation. Ultimate foundation. What the hell does that really mean? Has anybody ever looked up ultimate foundation and see and observed what Google spits back? Does it say does it say a bullshit phrase, or does it actually give you a cogent response?
To be intelligible, it's going to have to emanate from a framework and a foundation, and the foundation is going to be either a personal absolute or an impersonal absolute.
He said it again. Absolute, impersonal, personal, absolute. It's absolute. This is gobbledygook. Philosophers speak gobbledygook. Not even that. It's just campus coffee shop talk, or whatever the fuck Gary uses. The campus coffee talk, a campus coffee talk lecture or something. He says, I can't remember. But why do I digress so much? Can somebody tell me?
So you'd say would it be fair to rephrase this as it is impossible to be neutral on a belief that can be used as a philosophical axiom?
It is impossible to be neutral about that which is absolute.
Okay, that might be true, but that which is absolute is not an existing entity. That which is absolute, because that absolute, it cannot exist. Absolute what? Absolute zero? Like what? You see, he makes we're all falling into this web, into this trap that he lays for all of us, for all his victims, I should say. We don't fall for it anymore. We see right through it, don't we? Don't we, viewers?
Now, some people are not aware of their non-neutrality. They're completely oblivious to it because they haven't been exposed.
Thank you, David. Community college lecture. There you go.
Exposed to certain philosophical and theological perspectives which elucidate that. That's why I recommended to the people in the room to read the book, The Myth of Religious Neutrality.
An impersonal absolute. Yeah, David, that's exactly what he said. Impersonal. What the fuck? Give an example of one of those. Bell end, Gary. Yeah. Oh, exactly. Give us an example. Don't say a thing that is ultimate. A thing that is absolute. Because a thing is just something that you think of. The thing that I think of is absolute. So what?
Because this academic work definitively shows it is impossible for anyone to be neutral about that which is absolute or ultimate.
Again, absolute or ultimate. They're interchangeable. They both mean zero. They both mean nothing. Think of it. Just think of it. Absolute rubbish. That's what it is. Absolute rubbish. Okay? Maybe that's what he's talking about. Maybe that's what he means.
Because so far, to me, this just seems like a bare assertion. Like if something is absolute, then that makes it
Have you been listening to me the whole time?
Yeah, and I'm saying...
I am the Professor Gregarious Gary, and if you have not been listening to me, I'm going to wrap your knuckles with this very, very thin cane. I think he's creepy. More than anything else, Gestapo Gary, you are a fucking creepy dude.
No, what you're saying doesn't.
Okay.
I'm not
All right.
understanding it.
Obviously, you're not understanding, but I'll be glad to go over it again with you. It's not simply a bare assertion. Okay. Now, either you believe that it is fundamentally, unconditionally non-dependent, or you don't. Which is it?
So when you say unconditionally non-dependent, I'm thinking about axioms, like a belief that's unjustified.
This is
yes. The kid's he's onto something there. But you're too stupid, old man Gary.
Right over your head. I'm going to have to even explain it to you even more. I'm not discussing your epistemology, sir. I'm talking about ontology. I'm talking about the ultimate nature of reality. Axioms would have to with your epistemology. I'm not asking you about your epistemology. I'm asking you about your ontology.
Wrong.
Either you consciously or unconsciously hold that something is unconditionally non-dependent, upon which everything else is derivative, or you reject that notion.
Either you unconsciously or consciously hold blah 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 blah. See? He's an idiot. No. Who am I to say he's an idiot? But what do you think?
So I'm asking you, which position do you hold to?
You're asking me whether I hold to a position that there is something that is unconditionally non-dependent.
Yeah, and you better think very carefully about your
better
answer.
Think.
Do you hold to the position that something is unconditionally non-dependent and that provides for all contingencies?
You're right, Petty.
Or you reject that notion? Think carefully before you answer.
I would subscribe to that notion, but that's just me.
So when you say unconditionally non-dependent, you're talking about causal relationships, like there is some...
No, sir. I'm saying that there is something whose existence does not begin and does not depend upon anything independent or external to itself. It is unconditionally non-dependent. Either you hold that there is something that is ultimate and absolute, it is unconditionally non-dependent, or you reject that. Which is it?
I guess I'm not convinced that the idea of an ultimate absolute existence is like a useful idea that you can use to understand the world better.
That's not an answer to my question.
Yes, it is.
Okay, then I guess I would have to...
Either you accept it or you reject it.
Well, I'm not interested in entertaining ideas that aren't like
Listen, dude, listen to me. Listen to me.
There he
listen
goes.
To me.
There he goes. Told
I'll
you.
ask you one more time.
Okay, he's threatening now. So I called it. I said he'd fucking go at this guy, this kid.
If you choose not to answer the question, that's your prerogative. And it will be my prerogative to ignore you from here on out. Do you hold that there is something that is unconditionally non-dependent and upon which all contingencies derive from? Do you accept that or not?
I guess I don't.
Okay, good. Now you're completely philosophically screwed, because now any proposition that you utter will have no basis or foundation to it ontologically. Your assertion, let me finish. Your assertions will therefore be metaphysically unintelligible. They may be semantically apprehendable.
Absolute gobbledygook. Boo, BS. Absolute nonsense. Listen to him. I'm gonna just see if I can. I'll try and get 15 seconds back. Oh, all right. Let's go here.
Yeah. Let me finish. Your assertions will therefore be metaphysically unintelligible. They may be semantically
unintelligible,
apprehendable,
semantically apprehendable. Are you writing all this down? I actually like that. I have no idea what it means, but what the hell?
Or not?
I guess I don't.
Okay, good. Now you're completely philosophically screwed, because now any proposition that you utter will have no basis or foundation to it ontologically.
Okay, I need somebody to write this down so that we can get a we can get a definition, all right?
Your assertion. Let me finish. Your assertions will therefore be metaphysically unintelligible. They may be semantically apprehendable, but they will be metaphysically unintelligible because they will not ultimately depend upon anything. If I ask you, if you say A and I say why A, and you say, well, A exists in virtue of B. Well, why B? Because B is in virtue of K. Well, why K? I don't know.
You're saying that this is you're saying that this is...
Yeah, so the point is, now you're going to have to be quiet, because any assertion that you make, any assertion at all, will have no ultimate basis or foundation to it, because you have now denied that there is something that is unconditionally non-dependent. Therefore, you will have no foundation for any proposition.
So you can't give an answer because you have no foundation. So there you go. Gestapo Gary. Gestapo Gary. Here he comes. Now, don't you think that Hitler's voice and Gary's voice have the same sort of timbre, have the same sort of, they sound the same, just with a different language? Listen, look at Hitler's face and listen to Darth Dawkins' voice and tell me if Gestapo Gary does not, if that voice doesn't fit that profile of Adolf talking to the Catholic Church.
Wait, so unconditional non-dependent is distinct from a philosophical axiom, right?
Sir, you are confusing and conflating ontology with epistemology. So now that you've put your head on the chopping block, down comes the sword. Now you are incapable, excuse me, because of you've told me that you are committed, that you do not hold that there is something that is unconditionally non-dependent. Therefore, whatever proposition you put forth about a state of affairs, it doesn't ultimately depend upon anything. It's game over. You've cut your own head off.
He made absolutely no sense. Did anybody get that? Anybody at all? Did you understand it? Exactly, Patty. Hey, number one's here. Meanwhile, in reality, they are people who make rational decisions every day without a sky daddy, imaginary sky daddy. So lookouts coming in, he says. Let's see. Okay. Let's just carry on until we stop.
Oh, maybe I just don't have the right philosophical framework to communicate what I'm trying to say.
No, sir, you don't. You've just conceded you have no ultimate foundation upon which to build any statements of contingency.
He's an asshole, man.
Because when you make a proposition, you're either going to be making a statement about something that is contingent or something that is unconditionally non-dependent. You said there is nothing that is unconditionally non-dependent. Therefore, you have no ultimate foundation. There's nowhere to go. You've cut your own head off.
Bullshit.
Ultimate foundation.
Exactly. What the fuck does that mean? Huh?
He just means objective reality, but he doesn't give any inclination that this has to be God, which is why it's so frustrating to hear. You're just rambling on and on.
Yeah.
Oh no, actually, I'm not rambling.
Actually,
I'm
you are
simply showing that the not God position, and specifically his position, is philosophically suicidal. Now, you may not agree with. Okay, hold on a second, Dunning-Kruger. You may not agree with me. You may not like what I say, but it is completely dishonest and disingenuous of you to say that I'm rambling.
I'm just if there's anyone that can explain this like a bit better to me, because so unconditionally non-dependent, I'm trying to understand this as a concept. It's different from an axiom.
Things need to exist outside of your subjective reality. So he's talking about the objective things that they exist outside of you. That's what he means, and that's fine. But that does not have to be.
That's Declan.
So a reality that's independent of your senses.
Yes.
No. Yeah, well, we're done because there's no point in dialoguing with you, Charbroiled, any further because you've now rendered your capacity to make assertions null and void.
End up changing
please do not.
He's being triggered.
Please do not overtalk me while I'm speaking. Okay, I'll be glad to speak with you momentarily. Yeah, sure. So we're done, Charbroiled.
Charbroiled.
Well, sure. I mean, I'm willing to accept the premise that there's a reality independent of my senses. Yeah, if you want, if that's what you mean by unconditionally non-dependent.
No, sir. No, you have rejected the notion, and I've already covered this 3 times with you. You've already rejected the notion that there is anything that is unconditionally non-dependent. You've rejected this.
He's changing it because your vocabulary is so limited.
Please listen to me. Stop interjecting until I tell you I'm done with Charbroiled.
What a prick.
Okay, so we're done, Charbroiled. There's nothing more for you to say because in order for you to make predications, you're going to have to make an assertions that something is the case. But how are you going to account for that which is the case? Because that which is the case will, because of your prior commitment, be contingent. But in order for it to be metaphysically intelligible, what is it ultimately contingent on? Well, the answer is there is nothing, because you don't believe that there's anything unconditionally non-dependent.
Well, it seems that I just misunderstood you. I wasn't sure what you meant by unconditionally non-dependent. But if my
good. So do you have a change of heart now? Is there something that is unconditionally non-dependent?
I do believe that there is a reality that exists independent of my senses, sure.
No, I didn't ask you that. That's not an answer to the question.
Why not?
Do you believe that there is something that is unconditionally non-dependent and upon which everything depends?
Yeah, you still don't get it, bro. What he's trying to say is that, like, I'll just use his example, like, for language, like the word black can only exist with the word white, and there's not like some word that has any real grounding in any other word, and words depend off other words, and there's no like base word that is a base for language, and really language is just language and it has no base. Would that be a good example of what you're trying to say, but just with philosophical concepts in general?
Did you like Nothingness's explanation?
Come on, Gary, what's going on?
Nice meme.
Yeah. Okay, so we're done. Okay, so Dunning-Kruger, you're next.
Just call me Cross, please. Tired of the memes. But yeah, so why is one thing that you just said mean a create?
You're breaking up.
Breaking up is hard to do.
Are you still there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Barely.
Okay. Why does this unconditionally non-dependent thing that you're referring to have to be a creator God?
Why? Because he revealed it.
Ah, you revealed it.
Okay, so I'm going to take this logic, I'm going to apply it to another hypothetical, okay?
No, I'm not interested in hypotheticals. I'm only interested is if you do not accept my representing the Christian worldview. If you don't accept that, your only option is to present, listen to me.
No, he's just barking orders now. Hello.
Hi, my main camera also is not working for some reason. It keeps switching the other way around.
Well, we don't like that.
We don't like that. So
No,
now I'm using my shit. Life is a bitch, man.
Yes, it is. How you doing? Welcome.
Yeah.
I might have to take my dog out again. She's giving me those yappies, which means I'm gonna go pee pee. I gotta go pee pee. So where's my camera? Ah, there it is.
Huh?
I was just looking for my camera. See if I can get one to work.
Oh, now I can show you my Sony.
What did you get?
Sony camera. This is the one. Oh shit.
You bought a Sony camera?
Yeah, but it's even a fucking 4K. But there is some reason for the last couple of days it's been showing the other way around. So I had to hold the fucking thing like this. Yeah, and it's a pain on the ass to hold. So I said, fine.
Well, software, dude, software. Oh dear, he kicked himself out. Sorry about that, man. You kicked yourself out. That sucks. But what I'll do is I'll just get it fixed for that. There we go.
Go cut off. Okay.
Yes, you did.
It's okay.
It's all right. There we go.
Yeah, less resolution, but hey, what the hell?
Yeah, I'm gonna use the other camera. This one just slows my system down too much. So do you have something to entertain the crowd with while I walk my dog?
No, but I will carry on with the chat people.
All right.
If that's okay.
All right.
World. Let's see
There you
who.
go. Okay, I'll be back shortly.
Yep. Too much. Too much. Not too much. Right. Yeah, too fucking much. Yeah, too much. Switch this fucking thing off. My bad. And what about if I switch this one off? Yeah, too much. Bit dark, but who's counting? Right, so yeah, that should be fine. Point to the wall. Yeah, that's fine. So I got a shitty camera. My Sony X3000 is playing up. I need to figure out what seems to be the problem. I'll set it up correctly. Hi, Paddy. I was going to talk or make a video about Darth Dawkins' worldview, because apparently he was being an asshole as usual. Where was he, Darth Dawkins? And yeah, and his precept argument. And I think I can crush his precept argument very easily. The only trick here was two tricks. One is be honest, like I always am. And two, that he does not have any type of mod control, because he likes to be a little weasel. Yeah, and when he's lucid or not in control, he likes to run away. Why do you think I got BS on my logo? Right? Yeah, it stands from Christianity inverted, and I think it's bullshit. So that's basically what it is. Now you should say, I know bullshit when I smell it. So yeah. So what's going on? Man, I was doing good on our stream, and my wife was preparing dinner, and she was screaming, "Get the hell out of here!" Okay. And anyway, so good. tomorrow I might do something similar to what I did last week, which is going into a clubhouse room and see what's happening. Right? Basically poke my nose there. And be like a passive listener. And yes, and I will. Oh, he will say because due to special revelation. Basically, his claim under that question is that he read it. He's basically using circular argument. He says, I have read the book and it says, no, and what it says is true, right? And what it says is true. So that's fucking useless. So unless you call him out for the bullshit that he is, you are in a losing situation. Not that you're wrong. It's just that it's gonna weasel away. Yeah. Oh, and when he says, no, that's not a logical answer, or that's not this, or that's not that, we could easily say, well, that's according to your point of view. That does not make it wrong. And you shut him down there. That's it. His argument has got plenty of flaws. You just have to have some sort of a word pad on the side. Listen, I don't think he's even worse rubbing the nose. Right. I think we should stop the idiot. That's for sure. Right. And if it's possible, if he can stop, because he's creating more harm than good. Right. I will go to the point to say that I don't see him as a Christian. No. Darth Dawkins is the type of guy that can sell water to a fish. Can sell it. Right? He can sell sand to the Sahara people. Or ice to the Eskimos. Right? It's good for this. But that's it. Okay. His weakness is lack of control. That's it. If he cannot control the conversation, he's in the losing end already. Because anybody that can think rationally, he will say, hold on. And you stop him right there and there, and instead of making those stupid 2-mile long sentences, which it doesn't take you anywhere, apart from going directly into confusion land. If you got spirit, of course, he thinks he's the alpha dog of the. Well, he's got his minions. Like in the army, remember? He says, the sergeant says, jump. And we say, how high? Right? So it's just like, we have to jump. But he's a fool. That's for sure. I did apologize, yeah? I got shitty. Well, this is a fucking good camera. It's a Sony, right? And now I'm using my dedicated, my webcam. This is a Sony Action Cam 4K, but it's giving me a fucking issue, so whatever. All good. I've got a camcorder as well, and I haven't had the opportunity to link it in with my Elgato capture card. And if I manage to put that in, the image quality will be fucking well impressive. And I don't have to worry about the battery also changing and whatnot. So it's got telescopic lens as well, optical. Listen, I think apologetics in general is an easy money maker, in my opinion, right? Because you just have to memorize the fucking book, right, and spew it out. Yeah, I don't know about that. So good. You know, that's weird. I'm in the YouTube chat, and I can see the YouTube chat on his stream, and between superiority and the forgiveness, there's a paragraph that is missing on my chat, on my YouTube chat. Fucking weird.
All right,
He said that he. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Good. Carry on. I didn't want to butt in. You talking to the chat?
Yeah. To Paddy.
Paddy.
Right.
All right.
Actually, you know what? It's not that he's God, and I'm guessing that you're saying God right here, GAWD. We on Sydney's previous video, when I was in, there was this guy that said Satan was the one giving cancer to kids.
Right.
Right. So that was a sick comment. Right.
Well, God made Satan, so yeah, I guess, eh? In their narrative, God made everything. Certainly, God made Satan, Santa, whatever.
But even so, I mean, even if a supernatural entity makes something wrong, for that wrongness to impose it on weaker entities, i.e., us, that's a fucked up designer.
That's why.
Yeah,
that's why we know it's not designed. We
No,
know
no,
it's
no,
imaginary.
I know. That's like saying how J.R. Tolkien imagine the whole of the Lord of the Rings, right? And then you can construct the good things and the bad things. Sure.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying, if you talk about the inside concept, i.e., the actual book or the actual films, then you have to dive into the characters. But always taking into consideration that they are fucking characters. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Fucking characters. Did anybody try and come in? Because I had
no.
No.
No. Only Paddy was the one. Paddy, and I think Paddy is only here because he had a couple of bourbons.
Oh, is that right? Well, Friday. Oh, what is it? Saturday?
For me, it's Saturday.
Saturday.
Sunday.
It's Sunday morning for you guys.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Almost 2:00.
Yeah. Call. This is the British hangout then. British? No, it can't be British because it's got to include Irish. British and Irish.
Hey, Paddy. Listen, you touch a subject of a video that I made on one of my other channels. Yeah, I don't need to reveal it out, but
sure you do.
I don't know if you, I don't know if you remember, and it's dead on about that comment that you did. Yeah, about the God and human limbs, right? I challenged Veckel. Do you remember Veckel? Right?
Australia's awake. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Veckel, yeah?
Yeah. I challenged Veckel. Well, I gave him a video response because I was on a hangout with Nadia. Nadia. Fucking hell. Yeah. Nadia, Veckel, and a couple of other people there, right? So he was talking about miracles this, miracle that, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I go, listen, I challenge your pussy god, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something, and I'm gonna make a video.
Mm-hmm.
It was about 5 minutes. It was just me giving the chance for the imaginary friend God,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, to prove that he's actually alive or influencing us or some sort. So the challenge was that I name a human being, right, highly known, right, yeah, and I want him, if he exists, to regrow the limbs that this soldier lost in the Gulf War.
Fair enough.
He lost his 2 legs.
Okay.
Right, from an IED.
Fair enough.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think he was like a sergeant major, or somebody really decently high up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So he was fucked up from the waist down. Right.
Yeah.
And there's a picture. Well, I didn't put the picture, but I said the name of the guy, and he's alive. He's a real person. So I said to Beko, if your God cannot do this within, and I said to him, listen, if he cannot do this in 7 days, I go, hold on, let me be. If he cannot, I give him 15 days, 2 weeks.
Okay.
Right? Just in case he's got some issues. Yeah, some shitty miracles.
Maybe he has some schedule conflicts.
Indeed, correct. Yeah. Nah, that was about fucking 2 years ago, basically.
Oh, all right.
Right. Let's. You know what? Let me see. Let me check my other YouTube channel. I'll put it on and see if we can share that just for fun.
Yeah, you can share the screen.
Yeah, just for fun. Hold on. So I need to go to my other channel.
Right.
Oh, I download the video again, which my channel. There you are, Becco. Right, okay, here it is. Download. Let's put it on the desktop. Put it on the desktop.
You just gonna share the screen?
No, share the video. So, yeah,
Share
the screen,
video.
but share the video.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Open with VCL. Right. Okay. Let's see if we can rock. All right. So let me see a window screen. VCL. Yeah. We allow. Yeah. It works.
Yeah.
It works.
It certainly does.
Right. Now let's try if the audio works, because apparently. Right.
I don't hear any audio yet. It's muted. That other window is muted.
Which one?
The one where young you is giving a speech.
Yes, yeah, you. No, it's not muted. I got it. Can you see the volume? It's fucking.
No, I see the volume. I see. No, I don't see the volume. I see that that window is muted. Muted, as I like to say, muted.
Where does it say it's muting?
You look at. Oh, I don't know. I'm looking at the image that I see.
Oh, I see.
See?
Hold on. If I play it. Nah, I don't know.
Go to audio on top of the VLC.
Sorry?
On top on the menu on VLC, choose audio and see if it's not there. It's just not.
It's not mine. What do you do to solve the? What do you do to share the audio that everybody was broadcasting? Remember, you said that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's mute now.
No, not there. Yeah, click on audio, bring it down, and make sure the track isn't disabled or something.
Oh, okay. Default. Let's say if I put it to my microphone.
Also, make sure
my
make
speaker.
sure that it's outputting to the right speaker. Yeah.
Let's try that. No. Audio track.
Go to your preferences.
Audio.
Set it up from there. I can lip read, so I know exactly what you're saying. Just kidding. Just joking, man. Just joking.
It's not my end. It cannot be my end. Shit.
Can you hear it?
It cannot be my end.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it. Of course, I can hear it. I can hear it on my YouTube channel. And I can hear it on the VCL.
So you think it's my end? Can't be.
It has to be your. It has to be your end, because I am not. But what I. You know what? Are you able to mute the screen that we are sharing? Have you got that? Let's say I share something that is not appropriate. Have you got the power to mute it? Because in my side it says
you can't unmute someone else's presentation. It says to me, no, I do not have the power to unmute it. You have the power to unmute it, though.
I can't. It won't allow me to even unmute it. Yeah, I see what you mean. I've got the, I can see the, what you call it? The overlay of the pin mute, and it says unmute your thing, but I cannot unmute it. It won't accept unmute.
What does it say? If you hover, what does it say? Because she should be a message.
It says unmute your presentation, meaning allow the mic, no, allow the voice.
Yes.
Right? But for some reason, it's not allowing it.
I don't have any restrictions on mine.
Speaker system default. So my speakers. So that my hold on.
Well, choose the speakers that you're using right now.
Yes. So here will be audio. If I put it default, it's still blocked. If I put video, device, increase volume, nah. Right, what about if I change? Let's see if it does the same thing with another video. No, another video software. What's this fucking film on TV? Yeah, this one, for example. Right, so let me share that. Stop presenting. No, this one won't allow it. What the fuck? Yes. What the fuck? Because I can hear it and I am sending it, but for some reason that icon that happened to that's a good point. No, it shouldn't, because it's arriving to you first. No, correct. But I think I got this fucking funny feeling that is a like a permission thing that you should grant. I got that funny feeling. Now you see it. I've got the icon of the mute. So why? Seriously, it's weird. It's weird. Way weird. Right. Can you, instead of sharing my YouTube channel, are you able to download clips from there, right? any YouTube channel. What I'm saying is, for you, right. Or try.
Your only option is to present your model of reality. You cannot put on the
this, as in this. No. Hold on, but I've got muted my. I got muted my live stream. Go on, say it. No.
table another model of reality as a defeater
Player
for the Christian worldview. To do so is incorrect.
And then if you roll over the mouse, it will show the icon in the center of your player. Yeah, I can hear that. Yes. Yes. Or we can hear it. Yeah, sure.
You have no idea what I was about to say at all. So may I continue?
Okay. Do you accept the Christian worldview?
It is a worldview, yes.
No. Do you accept it? Listen, dude, don't play dumb with me because then I get pissed off. Do you accept its actuality? That the God of Christianity is the creator of all things?
If you allow me to just say what I was going to say, I think you could understand.
Answer
I don't
the
have a
question.
Yes or no to that question.
My patience runs out when people are fools. Do you accept the Christian worldview as being actual?
Well, what's going on here? Okay, yeah, what's going on? Could everybody not hear it? Okay, what I want to know is when I'm playing this clip, this Darth Dawkins clip, I can hear it, but I just want to know if anybody else can hear it. I'm going to play it again. Here it goes.
Can you let me speak, please?
Can you hear that?
If you don't answer the question, I will move on to somebody else.
I'm trying to, but you're not letting me.
Do you accept the Christian worldview as true?
Okay, no, I don't.
Okay, what is the worldview that you will be speaking to me from?
Right. Yeah, your video is coming through on the live chat, so that's fine.
Last chance.
But it's not coming through over here.
Here where?
Here in our chat room. The audio.
Oh, I see. Right, and I've got muted. I can see your presentation as muted. So why?
It won't unmute either. Unmute. Unpin.
You cannot unmute someone else. Well, that makes sense.
But
so I've got
I have the same problem when I try and unmute my presentation.
Right.
It doesn't allow me to.
Correct. And that's the problem. Right.
Well.
So everybody's presentation cannot be heard on Meet.
Correct. For some, we'll try and figure out at some other time though.
Right. Sure.
All right. So I'll just get rid of that. Remove. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I can hear Didi and someone else. Who the fuck someone else?
Didi and somewhere else. Probably the person Didi was talking to. Well, I don't think that. I think it's going to be either we have a chat room going like this, or we listen to the videos.
Yeah, sure. I agree. Yeah, that's fine.
I prefer a chat.
You're right.
I prefer the chat.
Yeah, follow the chat. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got 3 viewers, meaning
I enjoy